Hey, welcome to Getting It Done North of 7. Today we're going to be working on this Whirlpool water softener again. I noticed that our water isn't as soft as it normally is. It's been a while since I've done a video or worked on my water softener because it's been fine, it's been working great. But now we're noticing the softness isn't there. I think I know what it is and I'm going to show it to you and we're going to fix it. So down there in the salt, it's getting granular, really granular, like the pellets are getting broke down. And at the bottom of this tube here, where your float is inside, there's, I think, 3 or 4 slots, elongated slots that are probably plugged, which is not allowing this to work properly. So I'm going to take this tube out and I'm going to scoop out probably most of the salt in here. I got a spoon that I reached down in there with. I'm going to empty it out and we're going to make sure that everything's not clogged there. We're going to make sure that the black tube back here is not clogged up, and I think that's about all we will need to do, and then we can refill this back up. But hopefully that's it, and I'll show you how it goes and where we go from there. So we're going to remove the cap off of this tube here, and then right in here there's a wing nut, and on the back side of the tank here is a screw. So I'm pretty sure you can see that wing nut here in the camera. So we're just going to use the screwdriver to back out the screw, hold the wing nut or undo the wing nut, whatever your choice is. There's a spacer in here, make sure that doesn't fall down inside. So you got your spacer, and then your screw and your wing nut. Now we can remove the float that's in here. There's your float. So you just remove that. You can lay it up on top here or hang it in behind. Maybe I'll hang it in behind, it'd be much easier. And there is water in the bottom, so I don't know how plugged up that was. Can you see the slots that I'm talking about here? So if these get plugged, water can't flow through. There's slots here too, right at the very bottom. So they may have been plugged down there, but we'll see. I'll clean this all out and we'll refill it and see how it works. So that black hose, I'll show you here, the black hose goes down deep inside here and goes to here. I'm going to take this clip off here, I'm going to take this clip off here, but I'm going to get access to that black hose and I'm going to make sure that it is clear. And I'm going to make sure everything in here is clear as well. So I might have to get a pair of pliers for this. Nope, I can take that off no problem with my hands. And then there's this one here. Well, we'll deal with this one first. So this is the end of your black hose here. So I'm just going to take the hose off the other end. I think it's at the Venturi, and then we'll make sure that this line is clear. So to get at the Venturi, we have to take this cover here, and at the back here there's a bypass shut off. So you just have to push it in to bypass this whole system. So all kinds of wires hooked up, so here, just move it back. So right here is where the rubber hose connects to. So as soon as I undid this, water came out the other end of the hose, so I'm pretty sure it's clear. But we're going to make sure. So I'm just going to blow some air in this end, and we'll see if it's clear there. All kinds of air, water squirting out, so we know our line is clear. We're not going to worry about the Venturi right now, because I really don't think that's the problem. There is a gasket washer in there that I've replaced before. If it gets stretched or worn, it is a problem, and I've replaced it before. So I think what our problem is down in here, down the tank, and we're going to scoop everything out like I said. You may have heard this before, but I think there's what they call a bridge, and what it is the salt gets hard in a certain layer above the bottom of the tank, above the water line, and it creates a bridge. So that's a salt bridge. So you need to break that bridge or empty it out like I'm doing and refill it. So this is what it looks like inside the tank. You can see we have the big brine tank here, and this is your salt tank. So I'm trying to scoop it out with this fishing spoon. This is for ice fishing. You can grab one of these at any Walmart, and it works good. It's about the easiest way I've figured out how to empty this out. Now it takes a while, you know, you take a little bit at a time, but eventually you get to the bottom. Now hopefully your tank wasn't too full. If it is, well, first of all, you're not supposed to fill your tank up full of salt. You're supposed to just put in one bag and let it do its job. Work it down to about number 1, and then I put another bag in. So I'm always around 3.5 to 4. I'm never above that, because any higher will cause a salt bridge. I think we got a salt bridge down there, because right down there around that brine well, or brine tank, whatever you call it, it seems to be really hard. So I may have to break that up. I've had to do that once before, and I was taking up big chunks of salt. It's just one of those maintenance things. You could pay someone to do it, but it's going to cost you a lot, or you can do it like yourself and get one of those spoons from Walmart and just start cleaning it out slowly. It's a long reach down there, but I've done it once or twice, and I'm doing it again. So it, you know, out of 5 years, it hasn't been too bad. I don't look forward to it, but I'm not going to pay someone to do it either. So we'll continue on with the job. Okay guys, so here is the proof. There is a salt bridge down in here. You can see it's in chunks. It's kind of thick down here, especially right here in the corner. I broke some up already, but yeah, this has got to come out. It's not as bad as I've seen it, not yet anyway, but it's hard. Now, I could probably break this up and it'll be fine, but I'm going to scoop it all out and do it right. Just make sure you don't bust a hole through your salt tank here, and you should be okay. Just don't use any sharp stuff to get down in there and clean that out. Now, one other thing I noticed on this float, this is supposed to go up and down with the water level. It had a lot of baked on salt to it, so that would cause weight and not to really float that good, maybe, possibly. So make sure you check there's no salt that's caked onto here. It's hard to see, like there's a piece, no, that's styrofoam there, but it's hard to see. I just kind of rubbed it off with my fingers and my nail, and then I rinsed it under a tap. Also, down in here is a screen filter. It had a dark piece of dirt in behind it, so I rinsed it out and watched this filter doesn't go away on you either. Mine fell out, but the dirt fell out too. But I found it in my laundry tub, and I was able to put the screen back in, but it could have easily went down the drain. So you can see I pretty much cleaned out all the salt. There's still some water brine in there. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to put everything back together, and I'm going to put in a fresh bag of salt, and we'll do a recharge on it, but it should work, and I will let you know when I have the results. So I put everything back in place, and I put the clips back on, and I cleaned up the end of the tube that went in here, the end of the rubber tube. It was a bit dirty, so I cleaned it up. So now we have our tube back in place, and the Whirlpool water softener, there's like a spot for it. You can see it when there's no salt in your way. So that's going to go right there. And now we're going to put our float back down inside, like so. So it's just going to fit down in there like that. Show you. It's going to fit in down there like that. We're going to grab our screw and our spacer. And we're going to put that right there like that, and put our wing nut on. Don't forget to do up your tube here up to the Venturi, and have to hook that light back up because it fell off here. And I'm going to get some mold and mildew spray for this. Just give it a squirt, and it should be gone if I leave it overnight. Okay, I did a video, but my mic didn't work. My mic is broken, so I have to redo this part. So this is the next day. What I did was I did the recharge. So I unplugged it. So what I did is I reset the time. So all you need to do that to reset the time is go here. It flashes. You can reset with up or down and change your time. And then you can go here to the type of hardness, the number of hardness you need. Maybe you want to set it at 20. All depends on how soft or how hard your water is. So push it again, and you can set to what time you want your water softener to do its cycle. And it's set at default as 2 a.m. in the morning, which is a good time because most people are in bed. So you can set it to anywhere you want that you know that people will not be using water in your home. Instructions are right back here on this sticker here. And they even give you instructions on how to clean the Venturi and the nozzle down here, which I showed you is in behind here. So I'm happy to report that let's have a look in here again. As you can see, I put all new salt pellets in there, and the water has gone down to 1 or just below 1. So it used a bit up when I did the recharge. So I'm going to put another maybe half a bag in there because we don't want to get it too heavy, because they say that is when you get a salt bridge. If you put in like right up to, what does it say here, number 8 salt level, you're going to end up having salt bridges. Too much salt, too much weight or whatever. There's no need to have that much in there anyway, right? So you just mind it. You know, maybe you have to put in the salt in there once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Maybe it all depends on how much water you use. Here we use lots of water. But anyways, I'm happy to say that whatever I did, cleaning out that salt on the bottom, and there must have been a bit of a bridge there, like I said. So whatever it did, it worked. Our water is soft again, and we're happy again and hope it works for a while.